we all are, including myself, we all are free to, move. May I request Dr. Balaji to please, mute his mic. Dr. Balaji. Okay, thank you very much. So what I see is we all academicians as an assistant professor, associate professor, full professor, having the background of PhD. Actually, trust me, let us try to project ourselves as an entrepreneur, because we are free for many things, right? We are free for, let's say, consultancy. We are free for researches. We are free for writing books. We are free for many other activities individually. So if we have this entrepreneurial mindset, trust me, we will progress in our career much faster, in a more innovative way than usually people do. So what I'm thinking is, we will talk in this. Understanding the customer needs will be the focus of this session. How do we, understand what the consumers need? And we will try to discuss. I'm 100% confident and sure that we are aware of many big failures during the last 20 years. So we will try to take some big examples, some local examples, and try to, discuss about it, what actually went wrong and where they failed actually, maybe. So this will help us to understand the background, the background of the need, why it anyone needs to understand the need of the consumers. Otherwise the result will be the big failures that we are going to take. To share this, something is wrong. I don't know how to move on the slides. Maybe I will move on this way. This is better, I think. Right? You can see the screen. Just confirm me, please.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yes, sir,
Okay,
it's
fine.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So, I will start with his Albert Einstein saying that if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. So, what does this mean actually? This simply means that understanding the customer need is very important. Otherwise, you are bound to fall, bound to fail. And also, the entrepreneurial mindset says that you need to keep on trying something new. You have to take risk. So, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Trust me. So failure, first of all, is not a bad thing. We need to keep on trying things. That is the element of risk that we need to take into consideration whenever we are talking about. We want to be entrepreneurship. We have to take the risk. These are the basic elements of entrepreneurship, right? Now, this session actually we will try to have. I'm pretty confident that many of you are from business background, so we don't need to go into more details of this. The background stuff. So we will just in this session try to understand what is market research, meaning of customer needs. The most important thing is the sources of customer needs, from where we can understand the customer needs. And actually, we will try to find out some of the needs that we can come across from our daily experiences, like the offices that where we are sitting, or the cars that we are driving, or the food stuff that we are using. Can we drive some new idea from that for the customers or future customers? We'll try to go that way. And then to test whether people will pay for your product or no, this is another element of the topic. We will try to put some light on this also, on this aspect also. Target audience, as you all are from the academic background, so there is no need of discussion on this, but Those who are interested in their own startup could attend this session, or those who want to promote knowledge of self-employment, like we academicians, right? We can also say that, yes, we want to promote the knowledge of self-employment, entrepreneurship. We want to contribute into the economy through self-employment. So this session could be important for these people, right? Or to all of us. Now, coming to this point, some facts about new products. It is, I mean, surprising and amazing to see that nearly 30,000 new products are introduced each year, and 95% of them fail, according to a professor at Harvard Business School. When we say 95% of them fail, according to Clayton and this Christensen professor of Harvard Business School, I mean, they totally fail. This could be one of the option, or they underperform. They don't perform as per the expectations of the company, expectations of the promoter. And another study says 85% of new products fail in the market. This is Nielsen, is again a big, I mean, consultancy, which provides consultancies to business organizations for different aspects through, let's say, collecting data. They have very strong research background through which they actually promote it. Okay. So the point is, there is a question that why do we need to understand? The point here is that I want to highlight or present is, see, these companies who, about whom we ever we are talking, let it be any company, let us say it is Nokia itself. Now, when we say Nokia, I mean, they failed. They badly failed. They were one of the most successful company in the world at one point of time, and then they failed for some reason. So we will try to understand. Maybe they did not analyze, they could not analyze the changing need of the market, right? So therefore, need, understanding the need of the customer, trust me, is the first and foremost thing for a successful business, because that is the point from where we will actually uh, get the that is the base for development of the product, right? So it should match the need of the customers. So if it is not matching, it means the company is bound to failure. And the basic example that I would like to give here is, very often we see small firms with small shops. They start and fail. Trust me, the reason for their failure is lack of understanding of the need of the that particular market, whether that particular business, particular stuff was needed in that market or no, right? So the need is the what I'm trying to emphasize is the need is the most important thing. For identification of the need of the market is very important. We'll try to take some of the big failures that happened over the period of time. Like for example, if you see Nokia, Kodak, and BlackBerry. Now, at one point of time, these big companies were actually the pioneers in their field. I mean, what I remember during my student life, Nokia meant what? Nokia meant mobile. Phone and Nokia, they both were synonyms, to be honest. If someone says Nokia, means they are talking about mobile, and mobile means we are talking about Nokia. But what happened in 2007? Something happened in 2007 which led to its, disaster for the company. Simple. Something went wrong with the company. What we believe, or what the academicians and researchers believe, is that they could not keep up with the changing needs of the consumers. The need of the consumers were changing, but the Nokia was unable to keep the track for some reason. We cannot say they were weak or something, but sometimes overconfidence also so plays its role. So maybe they were overconfident about the market share, their customer, loyal customers. So but the fate is in front of us. Still, they are struggling to establish their foothold. To establish their place in the market, right? So this is, then we have another very good example of Kodak cameras. Now, see, they were also the pioneer. They were the market leader. What is surprising about Kodak is, maybe you people are aware, for sure aware, that they were the first, or one of the, they were first to invent the digital camera. But they underestimated the changing market, the influence of the technology, or the penetration of the technology in the among the consumers, right? So again, the fate is in front of us. They correctly invented the digital camera at right time, but they failed to estimate, failed to analyze, failed to come to I mean, to estimate or forecast the future changing need of the consumers, which was towards the digital camera. And finally, then digital camera is also no more. It has, merged into the smartphones, right? So we know about these things. So what actually happened in 2007, with Nokia? In 2007, Apple company actually launched the iPhones, right? One, everything on one screen, everything on screen, everything, all the apps, all the keys were on the screen. The changing, the technological changes that was coming at that time, actually it led to the changing need of the consumers. Maybe consumers themselves were not aware of this, what they need. But Steve Jobs, he rightly, invented this, that because of the touch screen, digital, technology, and the fast, development in the internet, the speed and all those stuff, which actually led him to visualize what the future of mobile phones will be. And he appropriately launched, let's say, iPhone in 2007. Even at that time, Nokia was very confident about its key, mobile, because they were actually pioneer, and no one could have imagined that Nokia will fail to this extent. So they, once the iPhone was launched and the market shifted from button mobile phones to let's say touch screen or smartphones that we are actually experiencing today. And we should also take note of the point that iPhone 17 has been launched now, right? Why this, continuous progress? Was iPhone 16 useless? Was iPhone 15 useless? No. It has its own, still the importance and the features. But then the consumers are continuously, I will say, in a layman language, that consumers continuously need something new. That is also important thing that we need to take care of, right? So something new has to be there for the customers if the business needs, needs to continue. Otherwise, the competitors will come, or something new will come, and the company will, I will, company may close. So, and then BlackBerry also, I will not talk much about BlackBerry because we need to move ahead. What I'm trying to set here is the background. What is need and how it, how important it is. Many times, some of the biggest and strongest players, let's say the strongest, let's say, boxer in the world, may because of some ignorance, or because of some, lack of information or practice or forecast, they may also lose, as Nokia, lost the market. So this is actually, I'm trying to set the background. We will, towards the end, I will give you one idea, I will propose one idea of a business, and then we will, with all these discussions that we are having, we'll try to understand and discuss, we'll try to discuss and understand whether that proposed business idea is feasible or no, so that we have some takeaway from here. So these are some, and when you search in Google, nothing is hidden. There are, n number of companies like, just to mention one more thing here, that even Coke, when they launched new Coke, it couldn't work, right? But it was just a product launch, and then it didn't affect the company much. The company still is one of the largest player in the beverages market. Now, we are talking about market, I mean, understanding consumer behavior or consumer need. Let us focus on the keyword, consumer need. Now, I don't want to be honest, I don't want to go into details of this market research or stuff. I will just read it, and then we'll try to apply all these things towards the end of the session. Now, let us say market research is the process of systematically gathering, analyzing, and interpreting information about a market, its customers, and competitors to help business make informed strategic decisions about their product. But the question that I want to put in front of all of you is, do you think that these big companies, Nokia, BlackBerry, and let's say Coke, and many other companies which launched a new product and failed, don't you think that they actually undertook or they went through all this process? Did they not, I mean, did a systematic study? Did they not collect, I mean, data, analyze the data, product? And after that, the research says that, and the research is from Harvard Business School, so we cannot ignore it. Up to 95% of the new product launch, they fail in the market. So this is huge. I mean, launching a new product, to be honest, is, a risky affair. But to be an entrepreneur, we have to be a risk taker. This is one of the element of the to be a good entrepreneur. For innovation, you have to innovate. You have to take, I mean, the risk. So, how to identify the needs of the customers so that an appropriate product is matched to that is the big question. Okay. So this is about market research, and under market research, we do customer analysis, we do competitor analysis, market analysis, and trend analysis. I mean, these things are studied before something is done in the market. We analyze about the customers, what is their need, preference, buying habits, and price sensitive, which is, I mean, very important. Then we talk because the market is never without competitor. I mean, Nokia failed because of the competitors. If you want to put it this way, I'm sure that you should agree with me that one of the reason for the failure of Nokia is the competitor. That is Apple iPhone, right? They actually were doing very good, Nokia, and then the competitor did something, and because of that, they failed. And what did the competitors do? Competitors actually analyzed or forecasted uh, the future need of the consumers, the smartphones, which actually the consumers themselves might not have been aware. So that was the reason for their failure. And then market analysis, what is the potential in the market, how much could be the demand, what is the economic situation, and then the last part under marketing and research, we study about the analysis, that is what is the trend in the market, trend analysis, and changes that could impact a business. And then how the market research is conducted, surveys, interviews, focus group, observation, literature reviews, and reviewing internal sales data. I am not discussing each one of them. Maybe we'll try to bring all this information toward the last slide, where I would actually encourage all of you to participate. Those with the business background, they know that in market research, I mean, data is collected. If I put it in the very simple terminology or steps, that data is collected from the market, and these data is analyzed for planning or for building the strategy, and then planning the market affairs for the success of the company. In simple terms, we can put it this way. So we don't need to discuss about what is survey, interview, and all, but they are very much obvious. You all have done PhD, mashallah. So it is very obvious now that most of you, those who are actually from the business background, somewhere you have come across these terminologies. So no need of going into teaching mode of explaining these things. Now, coming to the next slide, actually, this is the point where we need to think carefully. Now, what do I mean by think carefully is that we all are customers, we all are consumers, right? Now, as a consumer, we consume, I mean, every day, I mean, we have n number of things that we use to fulfill what? To fulfill our needs. So we will try to ponder, we will try to discuss, give little bit time on this slide. Now, customer need refers to a problem, desire, or requirement that customers actually seek to fulfill. Now, this could be, I mean, discussed at the micro level for a small market, or if I go to more micro level, I will say to a specific village, right? If someone is planning to start a business in his own village, so he needs to understand what kind of problem, desire, or requirement people in that particular, I mean, village they have. Village here means the micro level of market, right? So if someone is planning a tea stall, then he has to understand whether a tea stall will work there or no. Trust me, if we can correlate, we will be surprised uh, to when we discuss, we should be surprised that all the big macro environmental factors that we talk, which is undertaken by the big companies like economic environment, technological environment, socio-cultural environment, all these stuff that we actually talk about to understand to the market, which actually shapes the needs of the consumers, they are applicable at the micro level when I'm talking about the village market. There, the person who is planning to start a tea stall or any other laundry services, or let's say any other stuff one is planning, they need to understand the economic environment of that particular market. At that particular micro level, they need to understand what is the buying capacity, what is the buying power of that, of the consumers in that market. So it is about the micro level. uh, uh, Micro level analysis, I mean, the micro market is analyzed based on the macroeconomic macro, I mean, environmental factors, uh, that is about, let's say, economic environment, technological environment, socio-cultural environment, and then legal and political and resources environment, which is actually what I believe is the main cause of these, I mean, people who are talking about to start their business in these markets. Now, I'm talking about starting the business. What I mean, the same thing is applicable for an entrepreneur in that particular market also. Entrepreneurial skills can be applied to the farms, to the businesses that is taken in those market at the micro level, right? So think over it seriously whether these macro environmental factors need analysis at that, I mean, local markets before someone invests, let's say, 100,000 rupees, or let's say 200,000 rupees, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. People invest, and then within no time, they build a very beautiful infrastructure, decorations, and all. And then within a 6 months or 1 year, 2 years, the result is that the business is closed. So practically, we need to understand that uh, if at that micro level, those who are willing either a business or they want to start an entrepreneurial venture, they need to understand these analysis which is done by the big shots of multinational companies. Trust me, this is my own, uh, uh, my own opinion that it actually fits at that micro level. But the problem is those people who are actually investing money, They are not aware that they should conduct these studies. So this is the base here, right? Yes, Dr. Satish, you want to say something? Okay, maybe it is by mistake. So we need to understand that these needs, that is any kind of problem, desire or requirement that consumer is, I mean, facing, that becomes the idea for the product. And we'll try to substantiate this more as we progress through this session. Now, the problem of the consumer, problem of the desire of the consumer, requirements of the consumer, it actually becomes the product or I mean a service idea, right? Which if someone actually develops appropriately and proposes the value to the consumers, trust me, they will buy. And this is the most appropriate, especially if I say at the micro level, if we are talking about the SMEs, small and medium enterprises. These could be the best way to generate the ideas, looking into day to day, I mean, affairs, day to day things. Now, how these things can be done is, one has to be, one of the best way to do that is the observation method. One should have the ability to observe that what the market actually needs in the light of the changing macro level environment, that we will try to put through one idea here. We will try to discuss it. I hope till here it makes sense, right? Now, and next slide talks about what actually need is all about. What actually need is all about. There could be more variables that we can add to this, but trust me, if you see, it will all kind of product, all kind of product, right? It will fit somewhere here. It will fit somewhere here. Think over it as much as we can. Let us all think over it and then see whether it falls into this, I mean, paradigm or no. It falls into any one of these category. Trust me, when you increase the convenience, if you can increase the convenience for the product, that is actually the sorry, if you can increase the convenience of the product, that is actually a product. For example, online payment system, it has actually increased, it has facilitated, or it has brought a convenience for the consumers, for the public. Actually, this is what Elon Musk did, right? He started X.com at that time, and then in 1999, I believe, or 98, 99 somewhere, he started X.com. The idea was that he was aware of the changing technology, internet, and then laptops, computers, and he got this idea, why not to bring everything about the financial services on internet? Why a person needs to go to the bank all the time? Why he should always carry his passbook? So he got this idea from there. So what he did is, with the use of the technology, and he was observant, let us put it this way, he was observant of the changing technology, changes in the technology, which was getting very advanced and very sophisticated and very fast. So what he did is, he was aware, he was man of technology, so he was aware that this technology can add to the convenience of the customers, and he started X.com in 1998 somewhere. And then actually it was a revolution in the financial services, for the financial services. And today it has grown to this extent that for us everything is on our mobile phone now. And the idea was that only convenience. Think over it, is it not? All the services, all the services that we are actually availing now, it is about convenience. Trust me and think over it whether or no. So to develop a new product, you need to develop, we need to find out something that will add to convenience of the consumers. I mean, we don't need something very, I mean, big jargons, or let's say something extraordinary mind for all these things. What we need to do is we need to observe these small things in our surroundings if we are talking to start our business enterprise at the local level. And then, I mean, accordingly, we need to identify these gaps, and that one of the key factor to identify the need will be the ability to observe the market, a person's ability to observe the market, right? So now the second point mentioned here is comfort. Now the second, trust me, the development that consumers actually are investing in is comfort. So if you can add to the comfort of the consumer, if you can think of as an entrepreneur adding something to the comfort of the consumers, trust me, it will again work, right? It will work. People are actually looking for comfort. Trust me, I am telling you, people are needs will surround along these factors that we are discussing here. The world's best or most of the innovations, they are in convenience, comfort, and one of the most, I mean, important factor is connectivity. Starting from the rails, ships, then motor cars, and then, I mean, now we have aeroplanes, and above all these things, the internet. ICT was the revolutionary, I mean, development in the market. It was a revolutionary development in the market, which has actually connected people across the globe, and which actually made the world a global village that we used to call. Now simply we are discussing this topic across the globe. To be honest, I am in Saudi Arabia, you are in India. I being Indian, I'm teaching here and I'm reflecting back to my own country, and I'm talking to my people and to my academic colleagues. So this is all amazing. What is this? The third most important, I mean, development is in the area of connectivity. More and more connectivity, faster connectivity is actually the key for, I mean, if we can enhance the connectivity of the people on the local level, trust me, it is a new product. Now, let us try to put something related, maybe not direct. If we want to say in during my last visit to India, I noticed that, to be honest, in the colonies, what they are doing is they are making use of, I mean, WhatsApp like anything. The shopkeepers, they are delivering things, people are ordering through WhatsApp, and they are making payment online. They don't need to do anything. Connectivity has actually increased. People are taking people from one, there are apps like Uber, Ola, and all, and people are actually moving from one place to another, right? And I mean, it is very easy. Wherever you are, to be honest, we don't need to own a car in the present time if we don't want. The point is, they are just a click away from us. Download the app. What is this? This is a new idea, product idea, isn't it? So this is actually about enhancing the connectivity. If we can find out something which will increase the connectivity of the people, trust me, it will become a new product. So it is all about convenience, comfort, and connectivity. And then if you want to go more deeper, and then we can talk about, let's say, the style and taste of the foods and those stuff. But by and large, all the developments that consumers are looking for in present time is convenience, comfort, and connectivity. Those who can enhance this, or they can bring a new idea in these fields, they will be successful. Now, not only this, how the products are developed, they are in our day-to-day surrounding. Like, for example, we are talking about healthy life or health services, we can say. People want healthy life. If you can promote to their healthy life, you will be a successful uh, you will be a successful entrepreneur. Like for example, in health services, healthy life and health services, if you want to say, because of the technology, this is an industry now that you don't need to go to the hospital for your, routine checkups or let's say lab tests. People are coming to you, collecting your data, sample, sending you the report online. This is the industry now. Then status, if it is adding something in our, let's say, status or emotions, that will be again a product. Entertainment industry, see, it has actually changed entirely, completely changed. Netflix is there and Amazon Prime Time is there and n number of methods of entertainment. And then people are looking now, this is the latest trend. This is the latest trend. Consumers are looking for, those who are aware, they are looking for sustainable, they want the business organizations to promote sustainability. They are expecting, right? So these are not the exhaustive, items. These are some of the areas and items that I have chosen for all of us to think over it. Do we actually, go out of this? My question is that we will discuss when we are talking during the question answer session. But at this point, do you think, uh, are these not the basis or dimensions which could be used for product to identify the consumer needs? It is. Trust me, it is. And this we can identify through the macro environmental factors that I will take one by one in the coming slide. Okay, these are the areas where consumer needs are identified, to be honest. What is the big challenge? The big challenge is the consumer needs are continuously changing, and because of which whoever is successful today may not remain successful tomorrow, because there is a continuous change in the need of the consumers. You cannot, say that whatever is working today will work tomorrow also. And the examples, as we have already seen, the examples like Nokia, Kodak, they actually failed because of the changing need of the market. Consumers' need was changing, and at one point of time, very powerful companies, they were declared, let's say, they failed miserably in the market, right? So we need to understand that consumer needs are continuously changing and evolving. And I want to point out at this place only, at this stage only, that see, consumer needs are continuously changing because of continuous changing in the macro environment factors, macro environment, macro factors. We will try to relate those macro environmental factors to the needs of the consumers, how they influence the needs of the consumers. Now, we will not give much time on this also, because we have just 1.5 hours. We have already spent 45 minutes. So that towards the end, maybe we will can save some time for the discussions. And I would actually encourage and would love if you can, participate and give your ideas from the local level as much as we can. Now, some of the big successes. What did actually Elon Musk did? He consolidated financial services, everything about banking on one, smartphone, right? On PC, and then on the smartphones. Now, presently, it is on a smartphone, and we don't need discussion on that. But this idea was generated by whom? Elon Musk. He consumed this idea. He actually got this idea by seeing people that they are standing in line and those stuff coming and going to the bank. Everything was, let's say, an issue. So what he did, he actually, came with the idea, why instead of coming to the bank and passbook and standing in line and then traffics, etc., He thought these are the problems, right? These are the problems which actually consumers are looking to be solved, right? If you agree, then this is the problem. Consumer need is what? A problem the consumers are actually looking to be solved, to satisfy. Nothing more than this. So he identified this problem, and because he was aware of the technology that this could be solved by the technology, he developed the X.com, where he brought all the tried to integrate all the financial services needed into the, I mean, into X.com. Or this became later, or it was this firm was merged with PayPal. PayPal is one of the very big company in financial services. I mean, you can use it for payment and etc. So this is how a new, I mean, product was developed, and the success is in front of us, right? Now, when we talk about, see, about the smartphone also, maybe we didn't realize that this button was, I mean, button mobile phone was getting a problem. It was a problem. People were using, but it was a problem for some who could visualize the future. And Steve Jobs actually visualized it, and then he came with a convenient, I mean, mobile phone. It was more convenient. Instead of pressing buttons, now it was touch screen. You don't need to open everything all the time. On the touch screen, the app is there. Whatever you want to do, you can do. So this was again a convenience, right? Think in this light. Think in this background, that how to add convenience to the consumers. That actually becomes the need of the consumers, right? Fine. So this is one of the, I mean, big successful story of Elon Musk. Then he talked about, he launched electric vehicles, and we have the story in front of us. But what was the problem with the, I mean, this petrol or benzene, we call vehicles? Was there actually any problem with that? If there was no problem, then why these, I mean, the idea of electric vehicles? And now Japan is talking about, let's say, hydrogen vehicles, hydrogen driven vehicles. The technology, see, we don't have absolutely any problem, to be honest, with the petrol cars, but there are some problems which has been identified, and the solution for those problems are the product idea. So that is at the big player level, I mean, the car industry level, where big players like Toyota and Tesla and Ford and etc. are there. So what is the problem? The problem with the petrol and diesel cars were causes air pollution, and there is no debate and discussion on this. It was very clear. It is very clear. What is the solution? Less or zero pollution. If a technology can minimize the pollution, that is a product. Noise pollution was another issue with the, let's say, petrol and diesel cars. What is the solution? Less noise pollution or no noise, zero noise. High running cost, which made it expensive. What was needed? Low running cost. High maintenance and less maintenance, and if you want to draw more points, you will be able to do. The point here is, see, these big car industries, they are good, and they are, I mean, uh, they are good, and they are sustainable. I mean, they don't, I mean, from a layman side, if we see, we will feel that there is no problem, right? We may say there is no problem, but when you go closer, you will feel that there is a problem, right? Now, so what was done? All these petrol and diesel cars problem was converted into a new product, which is electric vehicle, right? Which will make the world as more sustainable, more, I mean, it will make the world more livable. I mean, it will make more sustainable, more uh, a better place to live for us and for the future. Now, Airbnb, I will not talk on this because time is running fast. So we will not go into detail. Airbnb, what actually these people have done? Airbnb, we all are aware, just an idea. We have been hearing that an idea can change your life. Actually, this idea of connecting people over the platform. Now, every individual who has a single room in his home, which can be, offered, which he is willing to offer for a rent, this he can do, and which was not possible earlier. How come? How, from where this idea came? Again, with the help of the technology, right? So the point is that, see the Airbnb, from where it came. Just imagine, if I see from the investment point of view, what do you think this man has invested? He was an intelligent man. He simply utilized he utilized the platform, to be honest, internet and the technology. He brought everyone. He made every particular individual who has a space for lending. He made a businessman. To be honest, I can lend my room. I can rent my flat. You can rent any space, your farmhouses, your villa, whatever you have, you can participate, and this is win-win situation for both. So again, come to the point. What actually has been done? He visualized and he added to the convenience that sitting at home, if I want to if I want to find, rent from here in India, it is matter of click. I just go to the app, within 5 minutes, the room is in my name, and I'm the owner of, let's say, of that particular property for that particular time I have rented. You sitting in your home, this is the product. Trust me. This is what I'm trying to emphasize. I, as a consumer, was not aware that I can rent something in your house. But Airbnb, they visualized it and they made it a part. They made it that yes, it can be done, and it is one of the most successful, business model in the world right now. And when I talk to my friends, they are actually in Banaras and Lucknow and Delhi. They are actually talking about that. Let me join Airbnb and lend my property. So what is this? We need to come up with this idea. Why I'm giving these examples? Maybe towards the conclusion, concluding this session, we'll try to discuss. I'm encouraging you, please, let us talk for 10 to 15 or 20 minutes with day-to-day, ideas that can be promoted or developed into a product, which someone might, utilize it for their bread and butter. Why not? Right? So this is Airbnb. Now, startups in India, unbelievable. Physics wala, physics wala. From nowhere, he has now listed his company. He is present in Middle East. I am not aware of the overall presence, which all country he is, but he has, because of the technology, he made up an appropriate use of technology. Brought everyone on the platform, that if you want your kid, because see, there is a problem here that he actually identified. What was the problem? See, it is not like that. Maybe many of us would like to. The problem actually I'm trying to explain is that in our societies, especially from 9 to 12, when the kids are teenage, and that is the time when they start leaving their family houses for growth. So this was the idea for studies and for, competitions. Trust me, the problem with them is that most of us as a parent don't want to send our kids to these places, to stay there away, because we are aware of the social issues that is going on in the market, in the society. So he actually, the problem was this. He brought the education to my home and to every individual's house. Think over it. And this is one of the most successful model right now. Right? And the story is in front of us. Then if you talk about, I came across one small, app, that is about, I'm not promoting jar or something, but this is the idea that I'm trying to say. Jar app, try it. What they have done, they have given the facility, convenience and facility, that if you want, if I want to invest in gold, just 10 rupees every day, trust me, they have developed that idea that yes, you as an individual, I as an individual can invest just 10 rupees every day, and over the period of time, it becomes a huge amount of saving for us. And they have given the testimonials and etc. But the point here is that they have actually developed the idea. They came with the idea, which was people were, if someone says that, let's say before this, if someone says, do you want to invest 10 rupees every day in gold, maybe I will laugh, to be honest. But when I saw this, the promoters of this app, they actually did it very, beautifully. They have done it. People are investing. Those who from the pocket money, the students are thinking, okay, 10 rupees, let me invest in gold, and which will become a huge capital maybe for them. From 10 to, the limit is as much as you want to invest. But the point is, this is an innovation. This is a new business model. We cannot expect all the time to come up with something solid. Something tangible. It is not possible to come up all the time with tangible products. Like, if you are aware, as the economy grows from, let's say, economy grows from the underdeveloped, developing and developed economies. Developed economies have, the major share in the GDP is from the services. If you check the share of, uh, the the distribution of the things that contribute to the GDP. So you will be, we all are aware that as the economy grows, the contribution, the share of services increase. So we need to think of the services, because people are actually looking for more convenience, comfort and connectivity. So make it as a base and then think over it. Trust me, we will find lots of idea, and then I will propose one. This is just for practice, and I'm sure that we can discuss on it. So given the time, there are more, like Cura Care started in early 2025 by IIT Delhi alumni and dental professionals, provides mobile dental services. Can you imagine that dental services being, brought to your home? To be honest, before I read this, let me be very honest to you, I never thought of this. That actually the dental services, because it needs whole setup, labs and big machines, which is, used for the dental services. But he thought it is possible, and they are actually doing, right? So this is a new business. If we talk about more of the things, I will not go in detail of all these. Just to think over it, medical services at home, as we already talked about it, delivery businesses, Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, Instamart, Uber, Ola, Amazon, and I am sure that you are aware of many more services in India, because things are actually amazing in India this time, especially in these kinds of, business ideas. People are utilizing every bit of them, their motorcycles, their mobile phones, their, everything for business activity, right? What I'm trying to say here is that to start a successful business, to be an entrepreneur, what is needed is these, factors, analyze, because many time we think that these factors are relevant and relevant to the big business organizations. For these, to analyze, to consider, to study these factors, we believe, let me be personalize it. I used to believe that these are for the big business organizations and We need consultants, expertise, and etc. But trust me, it is not needed that way. If you focus and just analyze the successful people, small businesses in your area, you will see that they have very minutely analyzed what is actually needed in that particular local market, the village market, the town market, or the small city market, because mostly people will be employed in those market, right? They will start their shops, businesses. The point here is need, and need will be, I mean, will come, will be need can be analyzed only through these channels. Now I will try to take up the some of the points here. Now see, economic environment. It is not only about the country. Economic environment is not about the country level. Economic environment, because trust me, we know that the economic environment of Delhi region or NCR region is much different than the economic environment of, let's say, B category cities. Let me put it this way, that Lucknow, and then if I go to more town, a small town, maybe Rampur or etc. I can't exactly mention it, or Bareilly. This is hypothetical example, by the way. So the economic environment of Delhi NCR region, their buying power, their capacity, their education level, trust me, it is completely different than any other the market, Lucknow, Banaras, or Allahabad, or any other small cities, right? So when we need to understand the economic environment of that particular market, then we are talking about technological environment. Trust me, that technological awareness and use, or let me say technological uh, abilities of people in NCR region is very much high than those living in other small cities or towns or villages. So when we are planning a business in NCR or B grade, B level, I mean category cities, or a town or a village, we have to be aware of these factors at that I mean market level. We have to be. So it is applicable, these macro environmental factors, they are applicable there. We need to know, and this is the reason, if you ask any of the small business people, people who have started their business and failed, trust me, they got money, they got emotional, or let's say impulsive. They thought, he is running tea shop, I will also start tea shop. Maybe his I mean just he did not analyze the market, and he started the business and it failed. So we don't need to be, I mean, very scientific and such kind of stuff. We don't need to pursue those things. What we need to do is, whatever these basic information we have about macro environment, and then we can talk about micro. I deliberately ignored the topic micro level environment, that education and his money, resources, all those factors also, a person's education, they affect. But very importantly, these macro environmental factors, they actually influence. Now, socio-cultural environment. Now, socio-cultural environment is something, whether it is India, Saudi Arabia, or any other place, it is continuously changing itself. If we go from the socio-economic, socio-cultural environment of India, trust me, it is changing. The socio-cultural environment of NCR is changing continuously. Socio-cultural environment of Lucknow is changing. Socio-cultural environment of Banaras is changing. Socio-cultural environment, I don't remember the names of very small towns, so is changing, right? Aligarh, it is changing. And then if you go to the villages, trust me, the socio-cultural environment of the village is changing. So we need to keep track. We need knowledge about this. And we need to keep track of these things to establish a successful business. I hope that, I mean, by and large, if, I believe that you agree with me. Otherwise, during the discussion session of last 15 minutes, we'll talk about it, right? So, and then legal, maybe some of the aspects may not be applicable at the very local level, But when you say about the legal environment, trust me, how these manifest at the local market level. Now, when we talk about the legal, political, and natural resources, don't you think that every village has some specific resource which can be utilized for the businesses? I mean, which let's say a market, a village has a production of sugarcane. So the raw material is available there. Their orientation will be, I mean, towards, a business entity which will have some element of sugarcane. Like Bhadoi in India, it is a carpet city. Now, whatever businesses are there, the carpet city. Now, carpets are their main business, but there are other businesses related to carpets. This is very obvious. We know this. So, now the point that I wanted to put here is, now, given the market, the governments, they have some kind of legal, I will say legal because they have some schemes, the promotions, depending on the nature of the business they have. And if we really want to be successful in that particular industry, we need to know that legal aspect of that particular industry. See, one thing is for sure. If anyone says that this is too technical or I can't do this, then he should know his fate, his luck. उसको अपनी किस्मत के बारे में पता होना चाहिए कि अगर उसने कहा कि मुझे ये सब चीजें बहुत नहीं करनी है, नहीं आता है, तो भाई आप ये समझ लीजिए कि आपकी किस्मत में फेल्योर लिखा हुआ है. There is no, saying कि I will not do this. We have to do this. Even at the local village level, I'm trying to correlate it from village level to MNCs. Multinational enterprises, which is playing, let it be McDonald's, which is present across the globe. Even they do the thing, right? And we have very good examples, as I shared about physics wala jar, and I'm 100% sure that you have many examples in India now. Okay. Then natural resources, political environment, all these things need to be considered when we are talking about entrepreneurship. This is a local example. I will not talk of this because I will discuss something, let's say, before giving the idea, I will talk about how to identify customer needs. We have talked a lot, but just to recap the things before we go to the proposed idea for this session, we have around 20 minutes left. So these can help us how to identify customer needs, leverage artificial intelligence. Now, how to use this artificial intelligence for our benefit itself is a skill set, or we need knowledge for that. Review your engagement data, review chats, support tickets, surveys, etc. Speak with customer service team, ask customers what they need, listen on social media. Now, we cannot go for this, and discussing in detail about those. But the point is that we need to be observant. We need to know that the sources from which we can get the ideas for the new product and new business. Right. Now, my proposal is, now, I'm working in Saudi Arabia. There has been some major changes that came to Saudi Arabia in the last, let's say, couple of years. Economic environment, socio-culture, there is a huge change in the socio-cultural environment of Saudi Arabia, where the things have been, massively changed, opened up, modernized. Like, they actually, there is much more enhanced participation from the females in the economic activities of the country. In the education sector, there is huge change, increased participation. Now, given this background, I would like to propose this idea. I'm not saying that say this is very good idea and it will work and there will be huge profit on all those stuff. Here I would like to discuss from you. I would like to know your opinion about this pink laundry services. I mean, what I mean here is that female laundry services which will be exclusive for females. These laundry services will be exclusively for the females because they have their own dress set and they need their, I mean, some of the dresses are to be washed soft. I mean, taken special care is needed for their dresses. Now, why I propose this is because one of the reason in Saudi Arabia is that the role of females in the economic activity is visibly increased very clearly. I mean, there is no doubt about it. So, what is happening is female employees which were living with their families earlier, now they are moving to other cities, they are living independently, they are more busy from 8 to 5, and the family structure has changed from joint family or people living together to nuclear family system. So these are the changes. If you see, these are the macro level, macro environmental factors that is changing. Now, since these are changing, this will create a need, different sets of need, where I mean, ready to eat food industry has grown like anything in Saudi Arabia because people are spending more time here. They need household services more than before. One of the services the females would like to have is that the laundry services exclusively for them. Now, why exclusively for them? Sometimes their cultural factor, I mean, this is a hypothesis here, that they would like their stuff to be managed separately. Let it be for maybe for the undergarments and then other stuff that they would like to be, I mean, dealt with females because of the cultural factor which may be applicable in India or may not be applicable. But this is the hypothesis that females would like to have, would be happy and would love to avail services if there is a laundry services just for females. Now, with this proposal and the background that I have given, last 15 minutes are there with us. 10 minutes I give for discussion. What do you think? This idea will be a good idea for anyone to take up? And give me the reasons wherever you are at the local level. We can discuss. So I open the session floor for all of you to discuss. Raise your hand and let us talk about it.
One question more, sir.
Yes, please, Dr. Giresh.
What is basic difference between customer need of Saudi Arabia and India? Because, sir, you have lot of knowledge of Indian conditions and Saudi Arabia conditions.
Now see, the need of the market is mainly influenced by the socio-cultural environment. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
And these socio-cultural environment influences what? Mainly, it influences what we eat and what we dress up.
Yes, sir.
Socio-cultural environment. So one of the major difference here is, I mean, about the dressings and the foods that we eat. Beyond this,
Yes.
if we talk about other factors like technological factors, India very good in software engineering. It is a known fact, globally known fact. There is no doubt about it. People in India, they are very good in, let's say, use of technology.
Yes, sir.
The same way, this is similarity between India and Saudi Arabia, that people here, they are expert in using, I'm talking about use of the technology.
Yes, sir.
Everything, it is online now in the country.
Yes,
This
sir.
is one of the major difference and similarity between these two markets.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. What I would like to hear from you people is about this idea as a business, if you can contribute in that. Do you think if this is started in India, it will work? Tell me if it will not work. Tell me the reasons why do you think it will fail? What could be the reason? Imagine your place, town, village, city, wherever you are. If
Yes.
someone launches this business idea, do you think it will work? Anyone? Dr. Karan Singh, I see your name. So do you think it will work? Yes, please, Dr. Karan. No?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, please. So you are muting, unmuting. Unmuting, then again you are muted. I think he has mic issue. Anyone else? See, movie talk on this will give us some direction. Anyways, if you are not willing to talk on this, let me put it environment, I mean, macro environment, analyze this idea on the macro environment level, right? Now, when I talk about macro environment level, let us see why this way, this may work in Saudi Arabia, if I talk it about it. Number one is, now this is the question. The second part of the topic was, will people pay for this service? This is, will people pay for this service? So we will go through it through macro environmental analysis. This is something I am trying to explain it differently. However, if you go through the internet and you try to analyze, you will find lots of, I mean, ways like uh, test marketing is there. Then you have the surveys, you can take interviews, and then you can collect information whether people, future customers, prospective customers, they are willing to pay or no, right? That is another story, but I'm trying to put it, analyze whether this idea will generate demand in the market or no from these factors. Now, economic environment, trust me, income of people in the area has increased or no, because this idea, this service belongs to the females, because of their enhanced participation, increased employment and participation and income. Yes, I believe they are capable of paying for this. They have the buying power for this service, right? Now, why will they? Why is the second question. Now, if we talk about socio-cultural environment, how the culture has changed, which will influence this business. Socio-cultural environment, more females are employed. This is a socio-cultural change in the environment. Yes, this may give support to this idea. Females living alone due to jobs. This point may again support the idea. Nuclear family system. This is again a supporting factor for this idea. They have less time for household works, of course, because of the employment, and about three factors, they have less time for household works. They have more money to spend on these services because of, again, the employment. And their lifestyle, one of the most important factor here is their lifestyle has changed. They are, let's say, I mean, they are interested in availing these services instead of doing it themselves, right? So yes, I believe that because of the economic environment, changes in the economic environment and the socio-cultural environment, yes, this business idea can work. I'm not saying will work, because will is something different, but yes, it may work, right? And then we talk about another point, which is about, let's say, technological environment. Technology is actually will support this business. Why? Like, it is possible to either to again do the services, let's say, taking the clothes to the laundry services, or bringing it back myself, or it can be again there is possibility of someone giving these services here. Like for example, the same way the restaurants have the delivery boys, right? There are delivery services, Zomato and all. So the same way it is here also. So maybe we can avail this. They will help in the services. The people will, there are services which will help the females if they don't want to go out, they want to avoid the traffic and other I mean the problems, they want to take rest, so spend more family time. These are the factors because of which people will avoid going outside. Remember this, it is not only the technology or cultural factor. The point is I don't want to go out, I want to, there can be n number of factors to this point. The factors could be that yes, I want to spend, I want to relax, I want to spend family time, I want to prepare for tomorrow, I want to avoid the road traffic, and many more factors we can discuss. So I don't want to, this is the reason why I want to avail these services, right? So therefore yes, this may again work here. So the point is from, and the same factors, what I believe is many of these factors that we are discussing here, it is actually applicable in India as well, right? And then I'm a legal environment, if there is no issue, that is more than enough. Political environment, and then I'm a natural resources, if any, some of them may or may not be, I'm an applicable. It is not necessary that everything will be applicable, right? So yes, if I will say that this business, if launched, will work even in Saudi Arabia and even in India. It may work. I see I mean huge chances in this case, possibility of success. So how to identify customer needs, we have already discussed. Conduct consumer surveys, conduct, I mean this is another very, I mean routine thing that we see in the textbooks and marketing material, you will find out. So whether people will pay for this service, conduct consumer surveys, conduct interviews, observation method, social media listening, and market test. And this is all for this session. We finish it 5 minutes before to give chance to the moderators if they have to say anything. I mean, this is all from me for this session. And if you have anything to ask, to discuss, to clarify, we are open. So thank you very much. I hope that Professor Asya Chaudhary is there with us.
Thank you, sir, for
Thank you, sir.
excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. All of you, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Is Professor Asya